Hi, friends. Gene Valentino from the GrassRoots TruthCast. Mike Lindell's been with us on our shows for nearly 3 years now. Go to mypillow.com, promo code GeneV, or you can call it in. It's 1-800-589-4706. Mike's was a one-problem solution company with one product, the pillow. Today, it's hundreds of items in his website, mypillow.com. Now he's gotten to a point where the word's gotten out and they're having a $25 extravaganza. You can get a 2-pack multi-use pillow set for just $25. You got the My Pillow sandals for just $25. You also have their 6-pack bathroom towels for just $25 a set, and the brand new 4-pack dish towels, just $25. So they have an extravaganza underway right now with many super prices. Good time to start surfing mypillow.com and look through their entire store line of items for holiday gift giving this fall and winter. Thanks for joining us on GrassRoots Truthcast, and thank you, Mike Lindell and the My Pillow family, for being our sponsor on Gene Valentino's GrassRoots Truthcast.
With breaking news and political commentary from a public servant, serial entrepreneur, community leader, philanthropist, and American patriot, and a darn nice guy, it's time for the GrassRoots Truthcast and your host, Gene Valentino.
Hi, friends. Gene Valentino, and welcome back to our third episode in a series of segments we're putting together this week on GrassRoots Truthcast with our dear friend and guest, Nanda Bhagi. Yes, he's born India, Eastern India, and came to the United States almost 20 years ago. He's an American citizen, an entrepreneur. He's helped presidential candidates. He's worked with the Trump organization. He's an entrepreneur. He comes from an engineering background. Most interesting of all, I meet him through a local county commissioner because here in Florida, he's a pretty good cricket player of all things. You still playing cricket, Nanda, these days?
Yeah, I wish, but we actually promoted this format called T20, and I have a world record as well, 4x4 wickets in a row. I used to play until 2012, but nowadays I don't want to play. But I'm too old or not fit to be recognized as a professional or a semi-pro player. So I want to give the chance to the kids, and I just support them in whatever role I can.
Well, some of the bones at our age get a little bit more rusty. We need a little bit more lubrication on those joints. And if I took a shot like you did in the early days of cricket, it might put me out for a week. But hey, let's get back to our third conversation. Let's talk about immigration and security. Folks, Nanda is a true American citizen who wants to participate because he reminds me, not by age, but in a different sense, he reminds me of my grandfather, an Italian immigrant who could barely speak the English language and could not write it well at all. Yet this man went and served our nation in World War I. And off of my left shoulder, up on the shelf up there in that flag box, is the flag of my grandfather that he gave me after when he passed away. That flag has 48 stars in it because there were only 48 states in this nation at the time. And at that time, when he handed me the flag before he passed, he pointed at me. I was much younger, Nanda, and he said to me, "You serve your country." And I said, "Yeah, Gramp, I will." "No, no, no, no," he says, "you serve your country." Okay. You promise? I promise. Well, later in life, I became a county commissioner, Nanda, and I served my country by serving my county. And I did it and had the privilege of meeting so many great leaders, including the one off my right shoulder, Governor Rick Scott at the time, who's now running for United States Senate. I hope you have a chance to meet him someday. What a great guy he believes, like the current governor, Ron DeSantis, that this is the melting pot of the world. And America's success has relied not in the concentration of power and control, but by the decentralization of power and control, innovation, creativity, inspiration, incentives for small to mid-sized business to get off the ground, financial incentives to take your crazy idea and get it off the ground and make something. Why? Because you're going to probably have to go out and hire some people to help you get it off the ground. What do you think? Take it from there.
Yeah, like definitely, immigration is always, great, way to build any country. And there are five legal ways to do immigration or migrate people from another country to USA. So there are 190 countries. We have a representation of every country at some numbers, and we all try to follow the laws of the land and try to be immigrants legally. But what has changed in the last 5 years or 4 years since 2021 is we are encouraging illegal immigration where people spend 22 to 45 years to become a US citizen legally. That process has cut down to few minutes to few hours, and in the process, even if you put let's say some money for each of these illegal coming in, obviously somebody is helping them from taking some money or favor or whatever, so that all this money is going to some unknown third parties instead of getting into a government account through legal immigration. So again, my thing about immigration always be, and when person cannot enter this country legally, they're bound to do, again, not all, but let's say out of these 22 million, even if 1 or 2% are bad guys, they can do more harm than we can do for 10 years or 50 years. So that's, again, we can build our country legally. We can use the five ways to migrate people, like family reunions or refugee and asylum or humanitarian immigration or student visa exchange or work visa exchanges or even investor green card exchanges. There are so many ways you can get people legally. And if you can, yes, we need more people, no doubt. Today we are, with the land and with the resources, with all the things we have, we are only like not even under, we can accommodate another billion people, because if you
Yeah.
compare the land wise, we can accommodate a billion people more, no doubt.
Nanda,
But
we
do it
have
legally.
do it legal. And my question is, we could use 100 million more worker bees in this country supporting the good innovations and ideas with the people with the money and the capital to get things off the ground. But we have tripped and fallen because of the way we managed our border. Tell me, you're a worldly person. You know about many of these 150 nations around the world. Compare them for the average listener and viewer right now. What does India have for a border? Would they tolerate this kind of illegal entry?
No, administration wise, absolutely not. But again, nobody is 100% secure, or there is a leakage. Even if you look at our Indian immigration, there are at least some monthly, I would say, few 100,000 or 10,000 to 100,000 people will sneak in. That, again, it's a very next to impossible to expect a zero illegal migration, whether it's India or US. In US, we were averaging annually about 700 to 900,000 in the previous years. Now we increase that number to 7x to 10x, which, because we already have 30 to 40 million people who are waiting in legal queue to get their permanent residency, get their citizenship. So how it is fair when you have 30 plus million or even 40 plus million waiting and paying the taxes all these 10, 20 years, waiting patiently, and now you are bringing this illegal immigration from 10, 20, 30 countries. We don't know their background, we don't know their family history, we don't know what kind of education they have. Without checks and balances and without any responsibility of tax payment, and on top of it, we spent last year $66 billion, which is an enormous amount. If you look at the countries 51 and above, that is their annual budget. 50 billion is the annual budget of any most of the countries, you know. So we
Okay,
are
so
giving this kind of budget where our veterans who are in 10 plus million, they are homeless veterans and people who served to our country, risking their families, risking their own lives. They got a budget of 3 billion, and these guys have got 66 billion. Unless somebody is getting paid 10-20%, or they are out of mind, this is nothing but a treason according to me. And we have laws, we have a punishment for treason, we have a punishment for all that. But I'm surprised a country like US allowed this kind of level of illegal immigration, and which will put more weight on our healthcare, more expenses on our social security, more everything is a disaster, because we already have 35 million. You can legalize that 35 million in a stroke of one document. You can bring another 35 million legally. If you give this invite to all these 190 countries, they would love it, because see, the situation is everybody wants to come to America, make a happy and safe and secure living, make money, and put that money 50 to 70 or even 90% of their money back to their home country. That's a
I
mindset that
learned.
we all have it, because we try to live in our 10-20% of our income and try to send the remaining money back to our countries. That's a mindset of a majority, more than 90. Unless people like me who want to do something here, we try to win or lose, we try to put all our money in our country only.
Well, I was talking with Senator Rick Scott recently from Florida, and he was surprising me with facts about how we have close to 100 million people nationwide who are not working today as compared to 4 to 6 years ago, which means there's more burden on the fewer people to pay more taxes just to say stay even, never mind grow the budget, the revenue side of things. But you mentioned something I want to. So, what's good about our legal immigration system now? Do we have I think we have enough laws in place. What you're saying is we're just ignoring them and not enforcing them. It is treason. If you could have it perfectly your way, and we're running out of time on this episode, if you could have it perfectly your way, and you had the ability to contribute some money to a politician who's running for office, what would your request of him be regarding the border and illegal immigration?
Yeah, my request is, again, I missed the opportunity. Thanks for the invite, calling me to have a one-on-one with our beloved U.S. Senator Rick Scott. I learned about him. I follow him and dearly. But the two requests I would have for any one I'm supporting or contributing is the current legal system, the timelines to one of these 5 ways legally to get into this country, or varies from the fastest is 2 years and the slowest is 100 years. So cut down the time from that, make it a 12-month or a 24-month decision, instead of keeping these people hanging around for a decade or a few decades. That's number one request. And number two, I would say, because again, if you want to support illegals, first take care of our own home, because I believe in charity. I want to do it. If I have 100 or 100 million or $100, I would do it at 10% or at 20%, not like 100%, which is unfair for our country and our citizens who demand more every day. So if you look at it 50 years back, I'll give you a simple example of Dubai and Seoul. Dubai had only one street and one building 50 years back. And today, if somebody visits Dubai, they'll be shocked. In 50 years, that is a kind of a growth, they have seen. And when you compare America 50 years back, New York or San Francisco or LA, we were 50 years back of that size, of that quality, of that benchmark. And now look at where we are 50 years later. So I would put these two requests to any person, whether he's a Democrat or independent or Republican. Do not vote against legal citizens' interests. Do not do any policy which will hurt American interest as a whole. These are my basic 101. This is, again, We take pride of being an American citizen, even though I'm not, here for all my life, but still I take pride of being an American citizen. But in the last 3.5 years, I have not seen one reason to be proud of an American, except now we are at our benchmark is so low. Only three people came out of that Russian prison. We are celebrating as if we have done everything possible in this world after killing 500,000 soldiers, 500,000 innocent citizens, spending 150 billion cash, another 150 billion on services and equipment. We are celebrating a three people release. Again, every life is important. I'm not denying, but when you do that kind of a damage, in return you got three American citizens. Put yourself as an independent or not being an American. Think about it. What we done and doing is doing more harm to this universe, people, and humanity, and saving three humans or three Americans. Does it even make sense to anybody what we did? And we are celebrating with joy for the three Americans coming back. Again, I thank for that they are back, but still, when we can save million lives or billion people lifestyle improvements, when we have that kind of a caliber, we are celebrating a three people release. What should I say about this?
That's true. Nanda Bhagi, a business entrepreneur with over $100 million of contracts that he's managed to put together in places he's held in Fortune 500 companies. He's an entrepreneur now, independent, and talking to the American citizen like you and I about how lucky we should be to be American citizens. He's offering, as a non-native, an immigrant, to come in as a bona fide American citizen now and step up and remind us about how grateful we should be as a nation in being Americans and what we need to do to right the ship. I'm Gene Valentino with the GrassRoots TruthCast, and you've been listening to our third episode on immigration and security. When Nanda returns, we're coming back to talk about the economy, inflation, and pricing right after this.
Thanks for joining us for Gene Valentino's GrassRoots TruthCast. Be sure to like and subscribe, and God bless America.
I'm excited to announce my all-new mattress topper. In the times we're in, I wanted to bring you the best affordable mattress topper ever. So I took my two best technologies and combined them to make the ultimate mattress topper. And now you can get it for as low as $69.98. Queen size, only $99.98. It all starts with my famous MyPillow foam that provides you that overall full body support. Second is the individual comfort supports that give you an amazing custom sleep experience. It's like it's made specifically for you. The queen size alone has over 14,000 comfort supports. This is the perfect mattress topper to improve any bed. New bed, old bed, your guest beds. Get them for every bedroom in your house. Go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get the all-new My Mattress Topper for as low as $69.98. Queen size, only $99.98. Don't delay, order today.